Welcome back, everybody. Nice quick video for you today, I think. What we're doing is we're fitting some nice Burgtec Bling to this nice transition. Fairly regular customer of mine, so she's after some upgrades to this bike from the e-bike. We're also fitting, let me just grab it for you, a new tyre as well. Normally pretty straightforward. The only difference on this is it's got a CushCore foam insert, so it can be a little bit more tricky. Hopefully you pick up a few hints and tips along the way. Let's crack on. So I'm not going to be using my normal work stand for this video because most of the work is around the handlebar and stem, so you don't really need to be fair. So I've just left it in the back wheel support. We'll use that for now. Later on when we're changing the wheel, obviously we'll use the work stand there. Okay, so first things first, obviously remove this top cap. This bike's been serviced by me many times. Had new headset bearings fairly recently, so this should all come out very nicely. Just whip that off, and probably just undo the handlebars from this stem first. Going to be a bit easier. So it's an alloy bar on this bike, it's not carbon, so there is no torque setting on this new stem. Burgtec's recommendation is to use any torque setting that's written on the handlebar. There isn't one written on this handlebar, so their next default torque setting is 6 Newton meters, which is fairly standard for a handlebar stem, to be fair. That's what we'll be going with. Just going to lightly support the handlebar there, and then we can take the stem off. The important thing with Allen keys is, I really can't emphasize enough the quality of the Allen keys that if you're working on your bike regularly, it's a very important investment. The amount of damage I see from cheap Allen keys is it's scary. So these are Weeha Allen keys. I'll leave a link in the description below. They are fantastic. I've used pretty much every brand under the sun, to be fair, and these are the best so far. Lift them off. Spacers off. People were changing those for the new gold ones as well. And just a quick clean. We'll have a look at the headset while we're in here. Yeah, just a little bit of grit down there. Just clean that off. My cleaner of choice, Zep heavy duty citrus degreaser. Very good. About in 5 litre bulk, so it lasts me for a long time. Just clean this bottom race slightly. Just going to add some fresh grease. This is Mobile XHP 222 grease. It's exactly the same stuff as Enduro supply, as confirmed to me by Enduro, which was nice of them. Significantly cheaper if you buy it in bulk. And these syringes are very useful. Obviously, greasing down here, all we're doing really is adding a waterproof sort of barrier towards the bearing. The bearings themselves are obviously sealed units, and like I say, they were only changed a couple of months ago, I think, maybe 6 months. So while we're in here, while it's all in pieces, it'd be crazy not to just freshen that up. Okay, all we need to do is try and match the height of the spacers for the new kit from the black. It's not going to be the same because the new stem is quite a bit thicker, so it's just going to get it as close as we can. Obviously we're going to use this big chunky one here for the main one, and then it's a matter of what we put on top to leave enough steerer exposed. So we'll leave that one on there. It's an aluminium steerer, so we don't need carbon paste or anything like that on this one. Put it the right way up. So that's going to be too much. There's too much steerer exposed here. You need basically a 3mm gap. And what you certainly don't want is the bolt here being above or level with the top of the steerer tube, so we can't use this thick one. Drop down to 2 single spacers there. That's better. So get your logos lined up. Like I say, this is enough now because we'll be using the thin one at the top, like this. So a new stem, bolt and cap. What's really important here is to make sure that your cap isn't bottoming out. This lip here, see that? This lip here needs to be not touching the top of the steerer tube. If we put it in here like this and we tighten this down, this cap bottoms out on the steerer tube, you can never adjust your headset. So using this spacer here ensures that you basically won't be doing that. Just add a little bit of grease to this bolt. There's no torque on this bolt, it's only an adjustment for the preload of the headset. And we don't want aluminium seizing into the steel star nut in the actual fork itself. Okay, let's just drop this in here. So we've gone from a 4mm on the old one to a 6mm on the new one. I'm not going to tighten this up just yet, we're just nipping it into place. So now to remove the front of the stem. So these bolts are stainless. There's no recommendation on Burgtec's website to use any anti-seize or grease, so they will be going in dry. That ensures the correct torque setting. We're going to just clean the bar. Good opportunity to clean that area. Put it in there. Get these loosely fitted again. Okay, they're just loosely fitted at the moment. Make sure the gap at the top and the bottom is equal. Make sure your bar is now centralized where you want it to be. There's loads of marks on this so you can balance it exactly as it should be. Looking pretty sweet. And then we need to torque these up to 6 Nm. So to torque these up, I always use part tools. Torque wrench, fantastic little bit of kit. Already with the 4mm fitted. This is preset to 6 Nm, so you can't go wrong. So most stems and bars are 6 Nm. You get the odd one that's 8 or even 5, but once it clicks, you torque up. So that's the bar back on. Now what we need to do is align the fork on the handlebar and set the preload onto the headset itself. So just tighten these, well don't tighten them, but just knit them so that there's no chance of the stem rocking on the actual steering tube. And then we're going to set the preset preload of this. So basically just grab the front brake and rock it backwards and forwards until there's no knocking felt in there. Make sure your new stem cap's lined up as well. Looks nice. Nice. So there's no torque setting to this, don't go crazy. You can physically remove this once it's been set. All we are doing is setting the preload on the bearing. There's nothing to do with safety or anything like that. It's literally just to set the bearing tension. Okay, that's good. Take that out. Now we need to align the bar with the tyre. Just by eye on this one. I've got a laser guide for them, but it's not fitting on this bar, unfortunately. The bar's just too fat. So now again with the torque wrench, so 6 Nm on these. And that's that. Dead easy. Okay, moving on to the pedal. Normally pretty straightforward. I've got some wood wedged underneath the other side pedal, so it allows me to put more pressure onto this. This is an 8mm. I'm just using the part tool, extended one here for more leverage. You can just use a normal 8 one, but the more leverage you can get, the better. And the pedal washer fitted to this, so to make sure that goes back onto the new pedal. And the same on the other side. Okay, left-hand pedal. Important thing to remember is it's got an opposite thread, left-hand thread on this, so just make sure you're turning it the correct way. It's a bit tricky to get leverage, but that wasn't very tight, so it's easier. Again, just whip that off. Easy. Okay, pedal wise, make sure you always use some grease or anti-seize compound on the threads. Pedals can be an absolute nightmare to remove if they get seized. These should be fine because they're obviously a nice stainless finish on them. Some of the cheaper stuff that's just a mild steel sort of thing into an aluminium crank, believe you me, You could be there hours trying to get them out, if you're lucky. So just some grease on here. The finish line grease, I use pretty much finish line for everything really. It's very, very good. And that's it, that's what you need. Pop the pedal washers on. Let's get you back on the bike. Again, just an 8mm Allen key. Pedals are marked left and right thread. Pretty obvious if you got it wrong. If you try to force it in, then you've got it on the wrong side. So just get these in. Just be really careful you're not smacking the frame with the Allen key. Oh, yeah, thanks. On the other side. Again, left hand thread, so screws in the opposite to what you would expect. Okay, so the bike's in the stand just to get the wheel off. It's clamped by the dropper post. Yes, it's totally okay to clamp a bike by the dropper post. Part of themselves have done a video about it. There's no issues, and at the end of the day, if I break it, it's my problem. I have to fix it, so it's no loss to you. Okay, so just drop the back wheel off, drop it down to the highest gear. Beautiful SRAM AXS on this, the new XD indestructible kit. Holding up so far so good. Yeah, very nice kit. Let's whip this wheel out. Just set the pin on there just to allow it to drop out a lot easier through there. 6mm Allen key on the through axle. I'm sure you all know this. Similar as an e-bike, there's no more difficulty on this type of e-bike with the motor in the centre to any other bike, so it literally just drops straight out. Okay, that's out. Just going to give this wheel a quick wash before we proceed with removing the tyre. Okay, so this tyre is tubeless setup, sealant, and so like I say, it's also got a foam insert, so it can make this job slightly more challenging. So first things first, obviously let the air out. Easiest way to do that is just take the valve core out. Okay, you can feel the foam core there, so it does make it significantly more difficult to get the tyre off and on. So the tool you need for that is this CushCore bead breaker. Very difficult without this, just with normal tyre levers. This one you can really put some good pressure on it. I'm also using a bin to support the wheel. This is my old scrap metal bin at the moment, so you can put a lot of weight on there. Once the bead is broken, it's not too bad, but let's go. Okay, so that's broken all the way around now. So now we need to get the tyre over the rim. Normal tyre lever is fine for this. What we just do need to be careful of is we don't damage the rim tape. Otherwise it makes this fairly straightforward job for something significantly more time consuming to retape the wheel. Obviously there's going to be some sealant in here as well, but I'm hoping not too much. Yeah, there is a little bit down the bottom there. Not too bad. So that's that side off. Just going to repeat the same on the other one and empty the remains of this sealant out. So it can get a bit messy dealing with tubeless, so I do try and wear an apron where possible. Just break this other bead. Just there. So this dustbin just makes it so much easier. It's very difficult otherwise. That's one bead off altogether. I'll just peel this one off. The sealant is removed. There she goes. Okay, tyre is off. Finish. Tyre is off. There's no reason to remove the core. As you can see, you can get the tyre over it fairly easily. Just inspect it for any damage. This is just sealant that's found its way down there doing its job. Let's get rid of this. Customer's fit in the same tyre again, basically the Magic Mary 2.4. Just check the direction of this tyre. There is always a direction on there. There it is, that's a rotation. So brake disc is here, wheel is going to go this way, so we need to go that way around. Okay, make sure you get that right. I'm also going to align the logos with the valve to match the front wheel. So on the front we've got Magic Mary, where the valve is. There. So we need to get one side of the tyre over the foam insert and then get it beaded in. Go. Okay, so that's over there. You can take the core off and put it inside the tyre and put them on together. But to be honest, getting the core onto the rim is more of a challenge than getting the tyre over the core. So let's just do it this way. Alright, so now what we're going to do, but certainly the most challenging part, is to get one side beaded underneath the foam core all the way around. Again, the CushCore lever is going to help you immensely with that. So let's just start. Make sure this stays lined up where you want it, and just double check you've got the rotation on right, because the amount of times you get it right, that's right. Okay. If you tend to leave the valve last, that can give you just a little bit more room, but in reality it doesn't make a huge difference. Okay. Okay, get to this stage, what I use is a Velcro strap around here just to hold one section, otherwise you end up chasing it around the wheel constantly. So just grab that. I'm not sure where I got this from, but it's proved to be very useful for this job. That should hopefully stop it just peeling off as I try and get this bit back in. And then you get to do it all over again. Again, I need to just get this part of the bead, this line needs to be inside the wheel, basically underneath the foam, to give you enough slack. So just take your time, get that pushed underneath as best you can, and then it makes it a little bit easier. Easier than the other side. Okay, so that's on. What we need to do now is obviously put some air in there. We're going to leave the valve core out, put some air in there to bead the tyre onto the rim, and then we can look at sealing and the rest. Okay, so I've actually put the valve core back in here because this park inflator struggles when it can't activate the pip on the valve. So put that back in for now just to get this beaded. Hold there. That's good sounds. Okay. So we need to just inspect now. Going back to that line that we saw earlier. Make sure this line is even all the way around on both sides. Then you know you're beaded properly. So this side looks good. This side also looks good. Okay, so that's beaded properly. We do need to take the valve back out though, because we do need to put sealant in. A lot of people you'll see pouring sealant in there. It's extremely difficult when you've got a foam insert there. I always use a syringe regardless, insert or no insert. So we'll just do that next. Okay, so I use lock off to get a really good shape. And then syringe wise, I use just one off AliExpress. It's a very simple one. I know many people make these, but it's a fantastic bit of kit. I wouldn't go back to using anything different. So just basically, it's just a giant syringe really with a needle on it. Put this together. Don't need it. That's basically for unblocking cores. If you have a valve core that's blocked, you just put that down there. So just load the syringe up the ceiling. On this big tyre, we're putting 100ml in there, and then we'll just again inject it through the valve itself. Okay, so this fitting here would normally be used if you're not using an insert. This basically just screws straight over the end of your Presto valve and injects, but obviously with an insert we're going to struggle to do that. We need to inject physically through the foam. Okay, so we're going to let this tyre down. The bead will stay where they're supposed to be. Just let it down and remove the valve core. So now what we need to do, as I say, is inject the sealant through the foam core, obviously without going through the tyre, which is pretty straightforward. Okay, so we're back on the ground, wheel refitted, everything as it should be. I'll revisit the wheel in the morning, make sure it's holding its 50 psi approximately, and then it's ready for collection, really. And the new pieces look really nice, really good. Always nice to add a bit of bling, bit of anodised aluminium stuff to your bike. Money well spent. Okay, so that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that. A few bits and pieces, fairly straightforward stuff, but a few hints and tips along the way. The CushCore can be a bit of a challenge, to be fair. I know a lot of people give up and take it to the local bike shop, and that's fine. It keeps us fit, so we don't mind doing it, honest. But yeah, that's all done. Bike's looking fantastic. We'll give the customer a call shortly or after tomorrow to check this tyre pressure and let her know it's ready for collection. So I've got a few more videos that I've got ideas for coming up soon. Some of them should be quite good fun. We'll see how they go. You may see them, you may not, but yeah, hopefully you like that, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe is really important, especially the early days of this channel. Very important that we get as many subscribers on board as we can to help the channel grow. Hopefully something that people will enjoy watching. So thanks for tuning in, and take care.